Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anime Dreams, my YouTube channel. Today's fanfiction topic is What If Naruto Left Konoha? Part 2. Disclaimer: the content presented here is solely for entertainment and discussion purposes. I do not claim ownership of any anime footage used in my videos. All rights and credits belong to their respective creators and copyright holders. Let's get started. Flashback. 5 years ago. Excellent work, Naruto, Minato commends his son as he watches him summon 2 clones. With this progress and your rapid grasp of my teleportation techniques, I can envision a time when I can retire and entrust you with the mantle of Hokage, he adds, gently patting the boy's head with a smile. Do you truly believe I can become as strong as you, Dad? Naruto's voice carries the innocent admiration of a son looking up to his father, a sight that fills Minato with certainty that Naruto will indeed surpass him. Absolutely, Minato assures him. Let's go see what your mother is doing, and you can demonstrate your strength to her, he suggests, and Naruto eagerly darts ahead. They taught us how to identify our chakra nature today, and I have 2, water and lightning, and they mentioned a Kekkei Genkai. You don't have one, right? Naruto's excitement is palpable as he shares his newfound knowledge, prompting Minato to process the information before responding. Incredible. If I recall, those combine to form Storm Release, Minato remarks thoughtfully. I'll explore ways to guide you in mastering this, he promises, met with Naruto's enthusiastic nod. In the following week, Naruto diligently practices channeling both chakra and nature simultaneously, aided only by the advice that he must independently control each nature in each hand to fuse them during jutsu casting. As Naruto progresses, tragedy strikes during a routine training session, leaving Kushina horrified at the severe burns on Naruto's arms. End of flashback. Naruto spent 8 months in the hospital recovering. Minato begins, his tone shifting to a more somber note. His attempt to fuse chakra natures resulted in a devastating backfire, leaving doctors uncertain about his arm's functionality. Lady Tsunade's expertise was instrumental in his recovery, otherwise, Naruto might not have pursued the path of a shinobi, he explains, recalling the agonizing period and Kushina's anguish. Why does he harbor resentment toward you, then? Kakashi inquires, probing the complexities of their relationship. After his recovery, Naruto's focus on mastering his Kekkei Genkai intensified. However, concerned about the risks and impact on Kushina, prohibited him from further training, Minato reveals, reflecting on the unintended consequence of his decision. This created a rift, as Naruto interpreted it as a lack of belief in his abilities. His subsequent solitary training and avoidance of us stemmed from that, he admits, a hint of regret coloring his words. Children often rebel, seeking independence and validation, Kakashi reflects, drawing from his own experiences. As a shinobi now, Naruto will recognize your faith in him through subtle actions, not just as Hokage but as his father, he advises, suggesting a path forward to bridge the gap. Minato nods, acknowledging the wisdom. Although he may find D-rank missions frustrating, fairness dictates no special treatment. Tomorrow's team training will offer insights into their mindset, he concludes, contemplating ways to support Naruto's growth without compromising his principles. At home later that evening, Naruto found himself unable to skip dinner once again. He sat across from his parents at the table, engrossed in an advanced water-style ninjutsu book. If Sasuke is mastering fire and lightning, then I'll have to refine my water style to counterbalance, he mused, nibbling on a leaf of lettuce. I'm getting tired of ramen, need to balance out the carbs. He stole a glance at his parents, engaged in conversation about their day. It's been quite a while, but Mikoto hasn't slowed down with 2 boys, Kushina remarked. Itachi is so self-sufficient, always has been, she added with a smile. And Sasuke has grown into a fine young man, quite the heartthrob. Just like you, Naruto, she teased, turning to the young Genin. Sure, whatever, Naruto muttered, diving back into his book. These hand seals are ridiculously complex. Maybe I'll practice them tomorrow while my clone handles the chores, he thought, fully aware of the upcoming challenges for his team. I heard you're teamed up with Sakura, The pink-haired girl from the ceremony, Kushina continued. She's quite cute, she remarked with a sly smirk. She's also head over heels for Sasuke, Naruto quipped, surprising her. Seems like he's the better lady charmer, he added sarcastically. Finishing his meal, he stood up and closed his book. I'm heading out, I'll be back before midnight, he announced, causing Kushina to sigh. Maybe take a night off, you start your first mission tomorrow, Minato suggested. Naruto scoffed, send the dropouts for those glorified chores. Don't speak to your father like that, Kushina intervened firmly, grabbing his wrist. Go to your room, you're grounded, she declared, making him drop his book. Minato, sensing Naruto's hostility, stood up cautiously. He wouldn't harm her, Minato thought, his muscles tensed, ready to intervene. While Kushina used to handle Naruto's outbursts well, complications during his birth had strained her body, forcing her to retire. Plus, most of her chakra was devoted to the Nine Tails, meaning any attack from Naruto could be catastrophic. You think so little of me. Lord Hokage, Naruto spat out the title venomously. I'd never harm a defenseless woman, he retorted, turning away. Grounded, huh? Whatever, he muttered as he left for his room. Once Naruto was out of earshot, Minato approached his wife. Are you okay? He asked gently. She didn't respond immediately, picking up the discarded book, her body trembling, and tears trickling down. No. I'm not, she whispered weakly, her emotions raw and palpable. 2 days later, following a morning filled with monotonous D-rank missions, they took a break for training. While Sakura delved into her medical texts and practiced healing on small creatures, Sasuke honed his skills with a sword, an heirloom from Itachi, modified to suit his stature. Naruto, on the other hand, delved into water-style techniques, reminiscent of Kakashi's Anbu days when swordplay was his forte. Bored out of my mind. I wish I could train like them, she muttered, eyeing the fish illustration on the scroll beneath her radiant green palms. Suddenly, the fish sprang to life, flailing back into the lake. I did it! She exclaimed, leaping to her feet. In just one day. Impressive, they collectively marveled, but before she could revel in her success, Kakashi introduced a new challenge by placing a bird on the scroll. Keep pushing. Don't settle with one triumph, keep going until it's second nature, he advised, prompting her to focus on healing the bird. Undeterred by the others, Naruto formed hand signs, tiger, ox, tiger, and rat. Suten, Suiden no Jutsu. A mighty torrent of water surged towards the lake, his determination evident. He repeated the technique, ensuring no loss in potency. Amazing, Sakura remarked, surprised by Naruto's prowess. He seemed troubled for the past few days, but this training seems to have lifted his spirits, she thought, relieved that their first official team day wasn't marred by internal discord. Let's tackle this one next, Naruto announced, scanning the page. Kakashi admired his ability to grasp jutsu merely from reading, a rarity among shinobi who typically relied on visual demonstrations. Naruto ventured onto the lake, forming the tiger hand seal. Mizu Bunshin no Jutsu. A water clone materialized around him. Combining shadow clones with water clones could be advantageous, but it'll take time to integrate them seamlessly into my combat style. Sasuke sheathed his sword as Kurenai arrived with news of a joint mission from the 4th Hokage. A joint mission? Kakashi exclaimed, rallying his team. Turning to Kurenai, he inquired about her team's progress, realizing how distant they had grown after the war and his stint in Anbu, now reconnecting with old acquaintances. They are doing fine, Yondaime seemed to make my team specialize in tracking, a member of the Aburame clan, Inuzuka clan and Hyuga clan, she states, looking over to Kakashi's team. These three all scored top of the class, right? She asks. Yeah, Sensei figured Naruto and Sasuke would grow better alongside each other as rivals, while Sakura would learn more about shinobi life if she worked alongside the two most powerful Genin. Most powerful? Sure, they scored top of the class, but it's early to tell which team will grow stronger. Not to boast, but Kiba is a formidable fighter and Shino is a brilliant tactician, And Hinata has excellent control over the gentle fist, she states. Sakura has already delved into mastering medical ninjutsu within just a day. Sasuke's visual prowess exceeds that of many in his clan, even though his Sharingan hasn't fully matured yet, and Naruto has proven himself to be as formidable as his father. In my assessment, they are already showing Chunin level potential, he concluded. I suppose we'll confirm that on the mission. Asuma's team will be joining us, she remarked, surprising Kakashi. He initially thought it might be a straightforward escort task, but now he had doubts. At the Hokage Tower, all Genin stood before their Jonin sensei in a line, with Minato standing at the front. He glanced at Kakashi, who nodded in acknowledgement. I've heard some of you voicing your desire for a more challenging mission, he began, and Shikamaru, raising his hand, said, not me. Well, you're included by association, Minato quipped, eliciting a sigh from the young Nara. Here's a C-rank escort mission, he announced. A bridge builder named Tazuna has already paid, though he assures me the danger is minimal. He paused, eyeing Naruto. He wants to return home to the land of waves, he added, noting Naruto's understanding. While it's expected to be straightforward, it's an opportunity for you to gain experience in traveling beyond the village. So, all 9 of us and 3 Jonin for a simple task? Sasuke crossed his arms, also noticing the private conversation between the Hokage and Naruto. Couldn't one team handle it? Perhaps, but the 3 Jonin will only shadow you from afar and intervene only if necessary, Minato explained. I believe you can handle it well enough, he said with confidence. Naruto and Sasuke will lead this mission. Naruto knows the route, and Sasuke will support him, he stated seriously, gaining their agreement. Naruto, stay back. Everyone else, dismissed, he ordered, waiting until only he and Naruto remained. Do you understand why I chose you as the team leader? He asked, and Naruto nodded. Yeah, if I recall. That country was in the midst of a coup? Naruto inquired, and Minato affirmed. Tazuna. This mission is riskier than a typical C rank, isn't it? Naruto pressed further, and Minato nodded again. When I became a sensei, it was during wartime. Every mission was perilous, Minato reminisced. In times of peace, it's essential to test Genin properly. This mission provides that opportunity, he emphasized. And if it's too much? Naruto questioned, and Minato handed him the mission scroll. If it's too much, then you must humble yourself. Kakashi handled missions 10 times tougher when he was younger than you, Minato challenged. You seek to prove your strength. Well, prove it. Otherwise, all your training is meaningless. After a moment of intense contemplation, Naruto looked at the scroll, recognizing this as the challenge he craved. Dad's testing me. And I'll pass, he resolved before turning to Minato. Should I brief the team about the coup? He asked. It's your mission, Naruto. You decide what they need to know, Minato replied, advising him to be cautious and never underestimate the enemy. I'll see you at home. There's one more thing I want to give you, he added, and Naruto expressed his gratitude before leaving. Team 7 Training Ground. A rebellion? Shikamaru sought confirmation, and Naruto affirmed with a nod. While waiting might have seemed prudent, informing them now allowed for better preparation. Then why label it a C rank? Shikamaru queried. The rebellion has simmered for about a year now. The country is likely teetering on the edge of poverty, if it hasn't plunged already. This mission probably stretched their resources thin, Naruto explained. The target is likely of high value, he added, pausing for emphasis. The land of waves is isolated, requiring maritime trade. The rebel leader controls the main docks, effectively holding the country's economy hostage. The bridge builder we're protecting is likely the key, he concluded. The rebel leader will see the bridge builder as a threat, which means we should expect skilled shinobi among their ranks, Shikamaru lamented. Such a hassle. This mission sounds excessively perilous, Ino voiced her concerns. We're barely fresh Shinon. It's irrelevant, Sasuke interjected assertively. If we don't seize this chance, who knows when another will arise. I didn't train all this time to perform menial tasks. By now, my brother was Anbu. If I can't handle an escort mission, I might as well quit being a shinobi, he declared with a glare. This is our trial, a chance to prove we're more than children playing at shinobi, Naruto addressed them all. If you're with me, stand up, he urged, and to his surprise, Sasuke, Sakura, and even Hinata stood up swiftly. I want to prove myself to you, Naruto, Hinata expressed, earning a nod and a smile from him. Kiba and Shino joined in, showing solidarity for Hinata. What about Team 10? Sakura turned to them, prompting Ino and her team to stand up with resignation. So, Naruto, what's the strategy? Sakura inquired. Pay close attention. The next morning, Tazuna expressed his disappointment. I expected real shinobi, but instead, I get a gang of children? His comment irked some of the Genin, but Naruto remained focused on the mission. Alright, Team 8, take your positions, the blonde instructed. Kiba positioned himself up front, Shino took the rear guard, and Hinata stayed in the middle. Kurenai observed, so Naruto is leveraging teammates' strengths, tracking enemies is their specialty. The three Jonin had concealed them well, making them hard to detect except for a skilled sensor. As Sasuke and Sakura flanked Tazuna, Team 10 followed closely behind, Naruto stood near Hinata at the front. So, blonde boy, I take it you have some relation to the Yondaime? Tazuna inquired. Yeah, I'm his son, Naruto replied, remaining vigilant for an impending sneak attack. Anything? He asked Hinata, who shook her head. She knew her Byakugan wasn't the strongest, but Naruto's presence motivated her. I've heard Lord Minato is perhaps the greatest shinobi since Hashirama Senju, Tazuna remarked, to which Naruto responded with a slight scoff. Comparing anyone to a long-dead legend is pointless. Besides, it's hard to believe anyone will ever match the strength of the god of shinobi Hashirama Senju, Naruto retorted as they encountered a white rabbit and a puddle in their path. Sasuke, with his Sharingan activated, remarked, the Byakugan allows the user to see nearly 360 degrees, through objects, and the chakra network. However, it seems Hinata hasn't trained hers well. Sasuke relied on his Sharingan to detect chakra and sensed they were heading into a trap. As they approached a bend, Naruto acted swiftly, grabbing Tazuna as two shadows appeared, encircling them with a chain. Together, one of the attackers said, attempting to shred Naruto and Tazuna. Anticipating this, Naruto teleported them using a kunai given to Shino, ensuring Tazuna's safety. We are the Demon Brothers, Gozu, and Maizu, one of the Chunin-level shinobi announced. Sasuke, let's attack, Naruto commanded. Sasuke nodded, using his Raijin kunai and jutsu to counter, while the other teams were caught off guard by the sudden enemy appearance. Using his new jutsu, Suten, Suiden no Jutsu, Naruto soaked the Demon Brothers, creating a path of water leading to Sasuke. Sasuke channels his lightning-infused technique, the Chidori, directing its current straight at the Chunin, shocking them before they can mount a counterattack. Chunin from the Mist Village. No, these guys are rogue, he remarks. Naruto intervenes, instructing the team to restrain the foes for the tracking unit to handle. Looks like we're making camp, I need to inform the Hokage, he announces, causing a stir among the group. One of the brothers lashes out at Naruto, his claw aimed to strike, leaving Naruto momentarily paralyzed with fear and shock, unable to react. Fortunately, before the blow lands, Hinata steps in with her Haki Kusho, sending the attacker flying into a tree. As they settle at the campsite, Sasuke finds himself sandwiched between Ino and Sakura, a situation he finds irksome. Shikamaru is already asleep, Choji munching on food as usual, Kiba marking safe areas, Shino studying local insects, and their builder passed out from drink. Naruto, meanwhile, is drafting a report for his father, detailing the capture of the Demon Brothers and hoping for intel linking them to other enemies. Hinata, in a timid manner, hands Naruto a cup of soup she made herself, hoping it will keep him warm. Thanks, Naruto acknowledges, sipping the soup. Hopefully, I'll receive a response before we depart tomorrow. He then performs a summoning jutsu, calling forth a red toad named Kosuke to deliver his message and seek a swift reply from his father. Of course, Lord Naruto, Kosuke responds before hopping away toward the hidden leaf. Naruto returns to his soup, appreciating its refreshing taste. He also has food pills and scrolls with packed meals from his mother, showcasing the Uzumaki clan's renowned sealing abilities, although Naruto admits he's not skilled in that aspect. You were amazing today. I see why Lord Fourth made you leader, Hinata comments. She was really happy to be on a joint mission with Naruto. Ever since he helped her with some bullies, she has had a crush on him, but now she felt even if it was a little, she was seeing Naruto more as a person and less as a boy she liked. I'm glad you're on this mission. If you weren't, then I would be dead, he says, looking at his mugs. I owe you, he says, and she shakes her head. We're comrades, right? She asks, and he smiles a little and nods. You just keep being you, and I'll help you. Even if it's only a little. She thinks, standing up. I'm going to go and find Kiba. Good night, Naruto, she says, and he nods. Hinata, she pauses, hearing him call her name. She freezes without turning around and feels his hand on her shoulder. Thank you. In the early morning, Kosuke returned, surprising Naruto, who half expected his father but found the toad having completed his mission instead. Lord Minato ensured to mark the person of interest, he stated before disappearing in a puff of smoke. Most of the team was either asleep or just waking up. Sasuke and Shino were out scouting the area. Yeah. Figured as much, Naruto sighed as Sasuke and Shino returned. Figured what? Sasuke asked, to which Naruto showed him the profile. Zabuzama Mochi, Naruto said, and Sasuke nodded, familiar with the name. Who's that? Ino asked on behalf of the others who hadn't heard of him. Naruto handed her the book but began explaining to everyone what it contained. He's known as the Demon of the Hidden Mist, a member of the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist, and an expert in silent kills, he started. He's a Jonin class shinobi with a kill on sight order and is associated with the Demon Brothers, which means he's likely coming for Tazuna, he explained, referring to the bridge builder. I usually give you guys a hard time, but this guy sounds dangerous, Tazuna remarked. Maybe we should turn back, he suggested, but Naruto disagreed. We just need to lure him into attacking a decoy, Naruto proposed. Since I can teleport within a mile range, I'll lead a team of shadow clones down the main path, while you all take a less obvious route, he directed them. Once I draw them away, I'll teleport to join you, he concluded, knowing he could control the battles once they reached the land of waves, albeit at the risk of vulnerability during travel. I've been curious, how do you know all this? It seems like you're aware of Gato's attempt on my life, Tazuna finally inquired after nearly a day with the group. When Gato arrived in the land of waves seeking control and you sought aid from Konoha, they couldn't openly support you due to the border with the mist and the lack of a cage at that time, Naruto explained, now having a name to investigate further. But my father prioritized this matter, so when you offered this job, it was the perfect chance to help, he assured Tazuna. This mission doesn't end until your bridge is finished, he declared, and Tazuna expressed his gratitude. Interesting, Kurenai remarked, Naruto seems privy to confidential village affairs, but his leadership skills are commendable. Kakashi, wearing a grave expression, interjected, Zabuzama Mochi is a high-priority target in the Anbu Bingo book as well. Naruto's strategy will hopefully yield positive results. Once they separate, Asuma and you follow the main group, while I accompany Naruto. Asuma, noting Kakashi's unease, commented, Zabuza is unlikely to reveal himself immediately, he'll probably wait until they approach the village. Simply tailing them won't suffice, especially if there are other Jonin in the vicinity. Observing the team's movements, Kurenai observed, they're on the move. Sasuke grabbed one of Naruto's Raijin kunai before joining Sakura and the rest of the team. Let's proceed, she declared, prompting Asuma to nod and pat Kakashi on the back before they hurried ahead for reconnaissance. In Konoha, Itachi strolled through the streets, surprised that his brother had received an escort mission so soon after graduation. Normally, Shinon undergo a week of D-rank missions to foster team cohesion and acclimatize to their new sensei. However, he felt proud of Sasuke for embracing the challenge. Itachi! Izumi's voice interrupted his thoughts. She appeared breathless, having searched for him diligently. Yondaime allowed me to choose a partner for a mission, she explained, presenting the scroll. There's a dangerous rogue ninja named Kisame Hoshigaki near the Land of Waves, she disclosed, catching Itachi's attention. Realizing Sasuke's mission location, Itachi decided swiftly. When do we depart? He inquired, surprising Izumi, who wasn't prepared for such immediacy. Meet me at the gate in 10 minutes, he instructed, prompting her initial shock at the sudden turn of events. Hey, that's my line! She exclaimed, a mixture of surprise and amusement evident on her face. Minato and Kushina . So you knew that young girl would go straight to Itachi? Kushina asks and Minato nods. Still 2 members of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, she says with a serious look, worried for her son. Naruto responded immediately to the situation at hand. Many wouldn't get suspicious of 2 Rouge Ninja. Minato says, still sending Itachi there will put a lot of my fear to rest. He adds, he knew Itachi was far stronger than Kakashi and most Jonin in the village, so Itachi would likely be able to keep the pressure off the Jonin. I suppose all we can do now is wait, she sighs, be safe. Naruto sensed the approaching swordsman with a surge of malevolent intent, a chilling realization that his plan had backfired. Zabuza's focus had shifted onto him, abandoning the bridge builder. Dodging a massive blade that tore through clones and embedded itself in a tree trunk, Naruto couldn't help but admire his opponent's reflexes. Nice reflexes, a new voice chimed in as a man landed on the blade's hilt. Seems like I've caught your attention, Naruto remarked, brandishing 2 kunai in readiness. He knew defeating Zabuza was unlikely, but he aimed to delay him long enough for others to reach the village by nightfall. Your form and posture are impressive, as expected of the Hokage's son, Zabuza acknowledged. Naruto grasped the underlying motive. I won't pretend you're unaware, but the Land of Waves suits me. As long as it's in dispute, the Mizukage won't dispatch her tracking corps after me, Zabuza explained. Once I have you as my captive, I'll force the Hokage to surrender the builder and withdraw all leaf shinobi for your safe return. Even if you capture me, sending that letter seals your fate, Naruto retorted. He knew his father's swift and lethal response to any threat. Challenging my father is folly, he's bested countless shinobi superior to you, Naruto taunted, detecting a flicker of irritation on Zabuza's face. Don't provoke me, kid. I won't hesitate to cripple you, Zabuza warned, withdrawing his blade from the tree. So, are you coming willingly or shall we make it entertaining? He challenged. Naruto hurled both kunai at him. Entertaining it is, Zabuza declared, deflecting the kunai upwards. Naruto teleported to intercept them, but Zabuza swiftly evaded, sustaining minor cuts on his back from the outer blades. You'll need more speed to match me, Naruto boasted, strategizing to disarm Zabuza. Kirigakur no Jutsu, Zabuza invoked, cloaking himself in Kirigakur's signature mist, impressed that Naruto had pushed him to this extent. I don't need your leg to make you my captive, Zabuza thought, swinging his sword to sever Naruto's legs, only to find he had attacked a shadow clone. Don't underestimate your opponent, Naruto says, charging behind him and marking the blade. He realizes how late it is. It's been fun, but I'm taking this and going, he says, suddenly holding the blade before disappearing in a flash. That bastard, Zabuza growls as the mist clears. He needed to make his way back to the base. I underestimated him too much. He knows his father's jutsu. His eyes widen when he sees a new leaf shinobi, Kakashi Hatake. I thought it was weird sending a bunch of kids on this mission. I am only shadowing the group. But I will deal with you personally, Kakashi says, only for 3 senbon to pierce the Mist Rouge's neck. Thank you for drawing his gaze, a masked shinobi says. Judging from his mask, he was from the Mist and likely a member of their tracking unit. This man has been a thorn in the Mizukage for a while, he says, and Kakashi nods. Senbon. Odd choice for a weapon to deliver a kill, Kakashi says, seeing the younger shinobi freeze, checking Zabuza's pulse and feeling none very effective, he says, seeing the boy relax. I'll leave you to dispose of the body, he says, heading off to meet up with the others. The Jinan _ They arrived within the village limits. It was an awful sight to behold, seeing people live in such poverty. Food was scarce, and from the looks of it, prices were ridiculous. Naruto led the group with a massive blade strapped to his back. My house is just up here, Tazuna points to the small hut. Once inside, the shinobi sit around to discuss plans while the bridge builder rests. Now that we've made it into the city, Gato will likely become desperate to see Tazuna dead. Fortunately, we have a city to work and plan out counters in. Naruto begins, resting the large sword in front of him. What about this? Sasuke asks. It was the executioner's blade, one of the legendary swords from the Mist Village. Having this sword would likely breath hostility between Leaf and Mist. Better off hiding it. Even if Kakashi finished off Zabuza, he likely had student to take over for him, the Uchiha says. It's possible he did. But I'm sending this blade straight back to the Mist, Naruto says, surprising them. For years our villages have been on edge, even more so since the elders of the Mist believe we killed the fourth Mizukage, he says, and Sasuke looks away. He knew about this too, since the shinobi rumored to be blamed as an Uchiha Rouge. So you want to give this blade back as an olive branch? Shikamaru asks, and Naruto nods. Shouldn't you contact the Hokage first? He asks, and Naruto scoffs internally. That would just waste time. If I know my father, he'd agree that neutralizing this blade will weaken Gato, Naruto says. He then pulls out a map of the city where the bridge is being built. Anyway, Tazuna will be working on the bridge tomorrow with volunteers. In order to make sure the bridge is successful, we will need to protect them all. He looks at Team 8. Kiba, you will lead your team. Set up a parameter and lead any of Gato's men into these choke points, he says, pointing to 2 X's he made, each where a small alley where the large forces Gato would be bring. Got it. I'll lay out some markings in the morning. Hinata, you take a high ground to increase your field of vision, and Shino, lay out some traps, Kiba says, and his teammates nod. Team 10, you will be in charge of neutralizing these foot soldiers once they reach these points, Naruto says. I'll leave it to you guys. Who plans the attack? Once they are down, rally back to the bridge. It will likely be where Gato focuses his shinobi force, he says. Well, Shikamaru is a great strategist, so he will lead our squad, Ino says, and Choji agrees, much to the annoyance of the lazy Nara. So Team 7 will guard the bridge. Shikamaru confirms his thoughts with a nod from Naruto. I expect our Jonin Shadow team to support you guys. As much as you hate to admit it, Naruto, you and Sasuke can't fight off this force alone, he says. It wasn't disrespecting Sakura, but he knew she was learning how to be a medic, which meant any combat training was on hold. I have a jutsu that will hold them off. But it will only work once, Naruto says. We can prove ourselves here and now as credible shinobi. Or return to D-ranked chores, he says. Which do you want? Hours later, in an unspecified location. Having woken up still feeling the effects of his student's attack, brutal as always, Zabuza groans, clenching his fist, feeling the muscle retention coming back, still glad it fooled Kakashi Hatake. He is a man I can't beat without my blade, he adds. Where's my blade now, Haku? He asks. Here it is, Master Zabuza, the monotone teen says. It seems the Hokage's son was sending this to the Mist Village, he says, and Zabuza laughs. I also saw Gato on his way with some cell swords, he adds, and Zabuza sits up, cracking his neck as the door bursts open. That bastard is in the city. Now that damn bridge will be finished and all my plans will be ruined. The shorter man yells, approaching the men. You damn shinobi are overpaid as much as you are overrated. He stomps his foot. Relax, old man. I will deal with the bridge builder and the leaf shinobi, Zabuza says, sitting from his bed. Tazuna had already started building the bridge when all this started, and as much as it annoyed him, the bridge was too sturdy to do any real damage. Built with the strongest stone, it was truly the work of a master of the craft. You couldn't even beat a boy, Gato mocks as his guards grip their blades, giving away their intention. I should just kill you now and be done with a lot of you shinobi, he says, and suddenly his guards were pinned to the wall by Haku, and the teen shinobi held their own swords against their throats so fast. Gato turns back to Zabuza, who placed his blade on the shorter man's shoulders. If you kill me, the Mist will send their trackers after you again, he says. Zabuza smirks under his mask. True, this weasel had his uses, and his power was influential enough to keep the Mist from these lands. Don't misunderstand, I am not your soldier. You are not nearly strong enough to earn my respect as an equal. You are a means to an end, Zabuza begins. I will give you these lands, I will make you the ruler of this shithole nation. His eyes flash menacingly. Come here again with such foolish ideas like believing these foot soldiers are enough to kill me, and I will show you how I became known as the demon of the mist. Are we clear? Indeed, Gato acknowledges as the blade is lifted from his shoulder. Let's proceed, he commands his men, who return the swords Haku had retrieved before departing. Bitter thoughts swirl in his mind, wishing for their demise, knowing that tomorrow would mark the country as his own. Haku, do you foresee any trouble with Master Zabuza? The inquiry slips from Haku's lips, concern evident in his tone. Zabuza, the sword master, offers a nod of affirmation. The Leaf's young ones pose a challenge, he admits, eyeing the blade with a calculating gaze. Had it not been for its return to the village, Gato's plans would have faced scrutiny from Mist Shinobi. The Hokage's son, in particular, is cunning, Zabuza continues. He anticipated my interference, a testament to his strategic prowess. Haku, he will test your skills, his knowledge of his father's jutsu may outpace even you. I am eager to learn, Master Zabuza, Haku replies, determination coloring his words. In Konoha, our sons embark on their inaugural mission, Mikoto remarks, glancing at Kushina with a knowing smile. I must say, Kushina, stopping at one child surprises me, given the bond Itachi shares with you. Kushina's expression softens. Pregnancy took its toll on both Minato and me, she confides, acknowledging the lingering effects. Being the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, risking another pregnancy was a precarious decision. Naruto's birth had required Minato to contain the Nine-Tails during the weakest phase of the seal. Understanding Kushina's concerns, Mikoto muses, Naruto would excel as an older sibling. Memories flood her thoughts as she reminisces about Sasuke's birth. It feels like just yesterday, she muses, a fond smile playing on her lips. Kushina smiles, reminiscing about the moment she first held Naruto. It's an unforgettable experience when you cradle your newborn for the first time, a tiny life that once grew inside you, now out in the world, fragile yet resilient. She recalls the spark in his eyes from that first breath. Despite the strained relationship, she harbored deep love for her son. When Naruto was born, he'd cry every time I held him. But the moment he glimpsed his dad, he'd calm down, Kushina remarks, breaking her silence. Minato always had that soothing effect, she adds with a chuckle. Comes naturally to geniuses. Absolutely, agrees Naruto. The next day in the land of waves, 10 men toiled on the bridge, a stark contrast to the larger workforce earlier, casualties of fear or death after Kaze's demise. The village, including Tazana's grandson Inari, was demoralized. He lashed out at the Genin, proclaiming that heroes only met death. Shinobi aren't heroes, and the world doesn't pardon cowards, no matter their age, Naruto's words cut through, sending the boy sulking to his room. Team 7 observed the builders at work. Naruto, about what you said regarding Shinobi, Sakura begins tentatively, your father is revered as a hero by many, she points out. And condemned as a murderer by many more. My father single-handedly ended entire platoons, leaving families to mourn, Naruto replies, meeting her gaze. In a world where trivial disputes escalate to full-blown wars, it doesn't cultivate heroes, it breeds killers. Sasuke, noticing parallels between Itachi and Naruto, who shared similar perspectives, speaks up. Who knows, maybe you'll be the catalyst for change, he quips with a wry smile, prompting Naruto's laughter. Perhaps the three of us will usher in a new era, Naruto muses, and Sasuke joins in laughter. Sakura, however, feels a sense of unease, unable to fully grasp their somewhat cynical outlook. Their guard snaps back when Zabuza approaches, having bypassed their ambush with a small army. His sword. Sakura exclaims, realizing Naruto's failed attempt to return it. Clever move, Naruto Namikaze. You take after your father, the bandaged shinobi remarked. But can you handle this jutsu? With swift hand movements, he formed a complex sequence of hand signs, invoking the power of water in the form of a dragon that surged towards Naruto. Meanwhile, Sasuke and Sakura stood guard, protecting the bridge builders who continued their work amidst the chaos. Reacting swiftly, Naruto countered with his own set of hand signs, infused with a unique seal on his kunai. Hiraishin, Duri. A massive seal emerged, absorbing the water dragon. Don't assume that sword is secure. My mark will endure, Naruto grinned, causing Zabuza to realize his miscalculation as the dragon surged back from the sword, disrupting his own forces. And bringing lackeys to a shinobi battle won't turn the tide, he added pointedly. Zabuza, undeterred, aimed his blade at Naruto. One of us will meet their end on this bridge, he declared ominously. That's it for now, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to Anime Dreams for future content.